Yeah, for real. Mom Duke know how to have a good time. She ain't sitting in the house playing. Outside moving and shaking, baby. She come with me to strip club. I don't care. Real. It's my dog. You know, I want to live life. Be out here moving and grooving. My mom told me, she just said, keep moving, baby. That's right. Keep moving. She don't stop. She could touch the floor with her palms. You know? Flat. Oh. I love you. I love you too.
I got your wig, ho. You're mad. Miss Wig. I got your wig, ho. I got your wig, ho. Miss Wikiana. I got your wig, ho.
Now to Sean Diddy Combs' investigation. New surveillance video shows Combs being taken into custody in a Manhattan hotel last week. Our senior investigative correspondent, Aaron Kotursky, is at the scene of his arrest. Good morning, Aaron.
Good morning to you, Robin. This is the hotel where Sean Combs was arrested a week ago. You can now see how that arrest went down. This morning, watch how federal agents took Sean Diddy Combs into custody. He's seen in this video entering the Park Hyatt Hotel in Midtown Manhattan with others when agents from Homeland Security Investigations approach and separate him. They place Combs under arrest and lead him out the front door in handcuffs. His lawyer said Combs had come to New York 2 weeks earlier with the intention of turning himself in. He did not expect the agents to be waiting at his hotel last Monday night.
Why doesn't the government want him to turn himself in? Because then they can't ask for detention. So they go and they arrest him. They arrest a guy who came to New York to turn himself in.
1, 2, 3.
A day earlier, Combs seen out and about in New York with his family, seemingly in good spirits. Combs has pleaded not guilty to racketeering, conspiracy, sex trafficking, and prostitution charges.
Today I'm announcing the unsealing of a 3-count indictment, charging Sean Combs with racketeering, conspiracy, sex trafficking, interstate transportation for prostitution. The indictment alleges that between at least 2008 and the present, Combs abused, threatened, and coerced victims to fulfill his sexual desires, protect his reputation, and conceal his conduct.
What I'm wondering is when this benevolent man who's now had a change of heart and has decided to pay us as talent and also as writers, we're credited with publishing. So basically, we only get the amounts due since Sony bought our catalog.
Okay.
So streaming for the past couple years, it's about $800, $900, some in the hundreds, okay? And in order to get that, I have to release him for any claims or wrongdoings or actions prior to the date of the release. I have to sign an NDA that I will never disparage Puff, Bad Boy, Janice Combs, or Justin Combs' music or EMI or Sony ever in public.
And we weren't being paid. I mean, don't get it twisted.
It was what it was.
Diddy didn't never send the check. We never got a big
like it was on it.
payment. I never moved, so I don't know. We had to like each other without getting paid. We had to like each other genuinely because we believed in creating something that was powerful for women.
It's the same thing that he gave to all his artists when he gave them their publishing back. I'm gonna give y'all publishing, but y'all can't talk about Janice Combs, Justin Combs, Sony, Bad Boy, or anything that happened. Y'all can't talk about none of that. But there's some artists that didn't say anything, that didn't sign it, and they able to talk about anything they want to. And I think that's those girls that was, I think Danny Kane. I think a couple of them didn't sign it. And boy, oh boy, they probably gonna go after him too. Cause I heard him, and I'm giving you this, Aubrey. He stood up there and he said in front of a lot of people We were in the studio. And I said something to him and walked out the studio. He said, yo, I'm going to drug their ass off and pick them up and pip them out to my nigga. He said, I'm going to drug them out. I'm going to get them all on drugs. And I'm going to pimp their ass out to my nigga. And I was like, there's somebody kids. And walked out. And it's somebody that heard me. It's somebody that heard me. I mean, well, it's not only somebody that heard me, it's somebody that I know who was in the studio at the time that happened, and I still talk to him today. And we were just talking about that the other day.
So that you just got recently for this thing?
I got it a few months ago when he started doing
what's
this.
In the news now?
So what's happening is artists, some of them, not all of them, are being given streaming royalties and ownership back over our publishing on songs that we wrote at a time when you know that you have to stream a song 1 million times to make a cent.
Yeah. If you were to sign that NDA, would then that prohibit you from taking a deal where it's like you get a show about the
I would never
past?
be able to do. I would like to do a documentary for Hulu or Netflix or Amazon, a streaming site on boy band and girl bands. I have a bunch of members from a lot of very boy bands that fit the criteria of a certain amount of status.
Yeah.
Platinum albums, awards, etc., Grammys. Same with girls. The stories that we have to tell during a time in music where there were gatekeepers, there were people that owned labels like Puff running things, and the way that the divisions and the divisiveness occurred and the things that we experienced between each other and us against the system are fucking insane.
I watched the episode where he fired you and my heart broke.
Yeah, mine did too. I only just watched it recently.
It looked like he was angry at you for other reasons.
Correct.
It didn't look like
he was.
Can you talk about those reasons?
Not just yet.
Okay.
But he was.
Well, I can clearly see
everybody can see. Anyone that's got eyes can see it.
There's a struggle of power right there.
And all of that, I went back to see when it started changing, and it's significant. Because I had started becoming friends with a certain very big name person around that time that I know had involvement with him. Mm-hmm. And that was the first time he had kind of like said, you're not allowed to be around that person ever again. And I knew what that person's experience was with him. And that was kind of the first time I started to see the dynamics change with just how he approached me on camera.
Well,
not even off.
Okay, I know this man well enough to call him and say, hey, I need a favor.
Yeah.
And this might have been 10, 12 years ago that I called him and say, hey, I have a family member who I want you to hire them as an intern. Yeah. And I have never talked about this publicly. And he said yes. And they were flying around, one of the interns, Atlanta, Miami, whatever, on the jet, in the house, whatever. And then the internship stopped abruptly, like 3 or 4 months into it.
Yeah.
And I spoke to my family member, like, well, what happened? And they wouldn't say.
Yeah.
And I'm like, why did it end? He wouldn't say. And years later, they finally came out, and this is a male, and said that Puff had said, come home, stay the night with me, or the internship is over. And they said, absolutely not. He said, absolutely not. And the internship ended. But from there, I was like, oh, like this is how it goes. Okay.
Yeah. Activist Tiffany Red had been working with Cassie on an album when she first met Diddy and says that she witnessed him verbally abusing her friend. Following Cassie's settlement with Diddy, Red penned an open letter in Rolling Stone about her experience. She spoke to me about the events that she says traumatized her.
I don't think people understand what it's like to be traumatized by somebody famous and rich, because you can't get away from them.
Tiffany Red has written for the likes of Zendaya, Jason Derulo, and Jennifer Hudson. In 2015, she became friends with Cassie while writing songs for her album. At that point, Cassie and Diddy had been together for nearly 8 years. In a lawsuit Cassie filed last month, she detailed the abuse she says Diddy committed, including physical assault. Red says although she did not know about the alleged physical assault while working with Cassie, she did witness verbal abuse on more than one occasion. One of of which took place during Cassie's 29th birthday in 2015. Red says Diddy showed up at karaoke, where Cassie and a group of friends were celebrating.
So he had her backed into the corner, and he was like cussing her out with his hand in her face.
Later that night, Red, who was staying at Cassie's home, says she awoke to screaming.
He's standing in the living room area, and she's there, and he was like, emotional singing, there you are. And I just was like, oh, he's talking to me. And I remember, I don't know if you know what his voice sounds like, but I felt like I was in the presence of his monster inside. And I remember looking in his eyes, and I said to him, what did y'all do? Because I could see that she was really sedated. That was the first time I ever seen her high before. And then he says, tell your girl she wants some birthday. And we were like, well, I mean, he's saying this to me, and I'm like, well, she doesn't have to have sex with you if she doesn't want to. He was upset, I guess that she didn't want to do with him whatever he wanted. I don't know. I don't feel like I could advocate for myself in that moment. I realized oh, this guy is dangerous.
So what exactly do y'all expect for me to have done outside of be there for her in these moments? The people that are oh, you speaking now. How the fuck do you know what I did then? You don't, because you wasn't fucking there. Also, holla at me the next time you go up against a world famous influential billionaire who has more resources to shut you down than anyone. Holla at me the next time you go up against somebody who has never been arrested and convicted of shit. Somebody who's been indicted for allegedly shooting someone in the face in New York in a nightclub and getting off. There was a shooting at Chalice Studios a little over a year ago, and the LAPD did what? What the fuck do y'all expect me to have been doing? Also, let me give you this nugget. We have a friend who was hung from Cassie's balcony. You know why? Because this person was there for her. So miss me with the, what did y'all do then? You don't know. Things we can't speak of. But trust and believe the people who have tried to protect Cassie have fucking paid for it.
Just days before Diddy's arrest, singer Dawn Richard accused Diddy in a federal lawsuit of sexual battery, sexual harassment, and false imprisonment, among other allegations. The singer called his behavior monstrous.
I've seen Puff spaz out on people to the point where my heart jumped, and I'm a grown ass man. It was like, damn, I'm glad I'm not on the other end of that. What's the worst time you ever seen him spaz out?
Yo, I'm about to air out our dirty laundry.
Okay.
So, we were coming to rehearsal in New York. We were doing Saturday Night Live. Yeah. And Kalina and I didn't know we had rehearsals. And we were asking everybody, yo, when's rehearsals? They didn't know. We get to SIR Studios and Puff on us. He spazzes out on us. And he was like, we y'all don't want it. He always go with the y'all don't want it, the Jedi mind treatment. He makes you believe that you suck all to hell. And you've been working all hours of the night, and me and him got in a huge.
What did he say to you, verbatim?
I can't even go into detail. He was like, y'all bitches don't want it. Y'all don't want it. And I was like, Puff, why you talking so loud? And I've kind of always, been respectful. I've never really went too out of line with Puff. I threw my purse down. I was like, well, you want to go, we can go. There was this chess battle that happened between him, and I think everybody's eyes was like, Dawn. D-Rock was looking at me little bit, where you gonna go with that?
Joining us now to discuss the details of Richard's lawsuit against Diddy is her attorney, Eric Fudali. Eric, great to have you on this evening. Thank you so much for joining us. To date, many lawsuits against Combs have described sexual abuse, as you know. I want to focus, though, on the brutality first. Without disclosing any sensitive information to the case or to your client, what was your client's experience?
Well, I think what's interesting about my client's experience and what has been very validating is sort of the similarities between our civil complaint that we filed and the allegations in the indictment filed by the Department of Justice. The sex trafficking claims, the forced labor claims, those sorts of things were very strikingly similar to our civil complaint. And seeing that has been very encouraging and validating for our client.
You know, some of the lines that stick out are the threats in this suit, including, quote, "You want to die today." Quote, "I end people." Combs called these threats essentially a lover's spat. How does your client see these statements?
Well, certainly not the same way as Mr. Combs has characterized them. And it was interesting during the arraignment, his defense attorney, and since the arraignment, has been sort of making this argument, this defense that this is a lover's spat. But we've all seen the video of what took place in that hotel lobby or in that hotel hallway, and that sort of I think, is the best version and the more clear version of what we're talking about here.
You know, the lawsuit also says that Richard is owed for performances totaling millions of dollars. Has there been any response from Diddy to those claims specifically?
No, there has not been any response as of date to our civil complaint. I assume in time there will be some sort of response from the multiple defendants in the lawsuit, but at this point we have not received any response.
And does your client have a reaction now to Mr. Combs' arrest and the charges that have been waged against him in the days since?
Well, it was very difficult for my client, of course, to file this lawsuit. As you know, she filed using her own name, Dawn Richard, as opposed to a Jane Doe, which she would have had the right to in the Southern District of New York. So it was very brave of her and very difficult, because anytime someone is brave enough to sue or to bring charges or allegations against someone as powerful and prominent as Mr. Combs, you face backlash.
I want y'all to just think about something real quick. Albie Shore and Diddy are the only ones that are alive from that record company, right? The only ones that are alive. Allegedly, Heavy D was working on a book about his life, dead. And this is all on the internet. I think Jaguar talks about this. Andre Harrell supposedly was going to tell about his life, dead. Albie Shore supposedly was working on this before and then went into a coma. I remember this. Albie Shore is a friend of mine. We used to work out together in LA. I know him. Right before this coma, y'all, he was training for those celebrity boxing matches and then falls into this coma, and he almost died. Like they said, when they opened up his insides and did the surgery, it was liquefied. So when things like this happen in your life, will you be a little bit more tight-lipped about things? Could that be a reason why maybe you didn't act the way we would normally think someone should act? I also think, in my opinion, because when Kim Porter, when she passed, she had nothing negative. Before she died, she had nothing negative to say about Albie Shore's parenting skills. You never heard her say that he was not a good dad. Never. I believe he was pushed out by Diddy. I believe Diddy wooed Quincy. I believe Diddy offered the fun stuff. You know, you see he takes his kids drinking and hanging out and partying. What young, good-looking kid is not going to want to go along with that? Like, I just believe he was wooed away from his real dad with things. And I think Albie Shore finally feels comfortable. This is my opinion, y'all. This is my opinion. I think he feels comfortable speaking on it now.
So hold on to your britches, and you'll really understand how I ended up in a coma. You're really going to need to call Homeland Security. Pray for the young people. You know what this is. It's not a game. And please understand very clearly, there is zero woosah moments, me talking about situations for over more than a decade and a half, and then all of a sudden everybody woke up like, whoa, yo, we thought you were crazy. Yeah, I am crazy. I'm crazy to tell a mother on 3 forms of public transportation across a bridge to get to work to support me that, hey, I may have to pass on these opportunities for scholarships because I'm going to write a song and we're going to eat for the rest of our lives. That's crazy. But what I am not is a liar. That I'm not. All I did was give the science. I was ignored, laughed at, ridiculed, things of that nature. But that's okay. My God is so much bigger that my God got me. And I got you.
As alleged in the indictment, to carry out this conduct, Sean Combs led and participated in a racketeering conspiracy that used the business empire he controlled to carry out criminal activity, including sex trafficking, forced labor, kidnapping, arson.
And I told the story, and then afterwards he was like, I'm not going to run this interview because like Diddy's insane, and he blew up Kid Cudi's car and all this shit.
I feel like you did that on purpose. Like you wanted to see what he'd do to you.
No, I wanted to get killed by Diddy. But now everyone just found out that he like blows up people's. Kid Cudi finally told the story.
Let me say a little bit more about the charges. The indictment alleges that Combs abused and exploited women and other people for years, and in a variety of ways. As alleged, Combs used force, threats of force, and coercion to cause victims to engage in extended sexual performances with male commercial sex workers, some of whom he transported or caused to be transported over state lines. Combs allegedly planned and controlled the sex performances, which he called freakoffs.
A lot of these celebrities, every single celebrity in the culture has been to Diddy's house, which means they've gone through all his phones, text messages. I've seen Jay-Z at his house. I've seen T.D. Jakes at his house. I've seen Chris Brown at his house. I've seen Jordan Woods at his house. I've seen Travis Scott at his house. I've seen Beyonce at his house. I've seen Tiana Taylor. I've seen them all.
So who was with you this weekend? A bunch of my friends. Diddy, Quincy, Justin Bieber. So far, French so good. Montana. I go to bed. I got on a plane at 5:30 a.m. for this party. I think half of the people there were butt naked.
I saw you, warming up. But now you got to make a toast for Diddy. Here we go. Oh, it may be, yeah. My plan. Big Draco, big love. Yeah. All 2021. Yeah. That's what's up. We just out here enjoying life. Yeah, love. 2021, love. 2021, Yeah, we just gonna take y'all around the room for a second.
And I'm sure that's probably not public information yet, but who's the person that's number one on that invitation list?
Leonardo DiCaprio.
And I can get on that list,
yes,
right?
Without a doubt, you are invited.
That is so generous of you. Cheers to that.
See you at the white party.
Kids have like an hour left. So get extra comfortable, kids, because after that, y'all gotta go. It's a wrap for y'all, because this thing turns into something that when y'all get older, y'all don't want to come to, okay? So, let's just start to get our groove on a little bit. Then an hour, we put the kids away, it's all good. All right, DJ, let's hit it. Let's do it.
Joe's literally the only one on the dance floor two-stepping. That's how early the party is. I was at that party, and I left early, and I saw nothing wrong about anything or anybody. It was a good time. Like a puppy party used to be a good thing. And a lot of times when these celebrities are saying, LeBron's saying, yo, yeah, puffy parties are the best. He's not talking about these type of things.
There's another set of
But
rooms.
we love to have fun on the internet and go crazy. And
I was just
asking. I've never been.
I feel like there's the party, and then there's the
after party. And that's the other part too, the after party.
Rooms, yeah.
And that's the California culture, right? Like what
that's California culture?
Yes, it is. And hear me out.
Beyonce, she I was at a party at Diddy crib in LA. This was the beginning of 2020. You know what I mean? Diddy had put everybody else out the crib, like the influx of people he had put him out. But he had took a liking to me in particular around the time, man. It was really, you know what I mean, like putting his arm around me.
Right.
So he had put majority of the people out, but he allowed me to stay in there. Mm-hmm. Me and maybe about 15 others.
Right.
Jay-Z and Beyonce being you know, 2 of the other 15 people in the room. So that'll just put into perspective of the type of company I was in at the moment, you know. And she came over and introduced herself to me like as if she had to. Beyonce, cut it out. But I'm a big fan of your work, you know what I'm saying? Whoop the whoop, and that was just dope. That was dope as hell to me, man. That was dope.
I got a Richie to sit on my lap, and sometimes I ought to be pulling a leg. Heaven on earth, ever since I got that rocket chain that took the trip out of space. All the same bird, I'm on my tongue, and they ain't cool, but they ain't hate. I know my worth,
Okay, now, we need alcohols.
Right.
Alcohols.
Right. Not just one alcohol.
Alcohols.
Right, just different blend. You need the ladies, you need the booze.
You need some water.
For watering plants?
No. No, I don't know if guys have noticed this, like, a lot of ladies drink water at parties. They just, you know, so if you don't have what they need, they're gonna leave.
Right.
Gotta keep them there.
Right.
You need locks on the doors.
Okay, this is sounding kind of dangerous now.
It's a little kinky, but
yeah.
Rock with me, but just check it out. You need a lot of heat. A lot of heat. Yeah.
Heat. You mean that physically the place has to be hot?
You don't have no air conditioning.
No air conditioning.
No.
Why is that?
Heat affects the alcohol, and it also affects, like, you know, everybody gets a little bit more comfortable and loose. Builds up a nice little sweat.
Yeah.
Very first time.
Yeah, I have an island. This is just for inspirational, motivational uses only. You know what I'm saying? You don't know a lot of black men that come from the hood. They got an island. I got an island. It's called Love Island. So when I took you to Love Island, and then you realize that, you know, the plane landed, and then we had to float to another island. What was going through your head when we were going there?
I was like, I'm finna go to war by this nigga, he mad.
What was your favorite time that I took you off the grid?
What room was that? What? They say, nah, I ain't gonna say that. I heard about that though, but I ain't about to say that. But
What was
I ain't
it?
about to say on my.
Did you and Diddy? You and Diddy?
Yeah.
Yeah, you and Diddy.
You and Diddy what?
You and Diddy. They said he was.
Him and Diddy what?
I'm just saying the rumor.
I ain't never heard this,
Joaquin. They said he was.
How you knew that? How you know Now I'm about to Google because I ain't never heard this one.
I'm saying because that's the nobody would ever say that one.
Oh,
I'm
yeah.
not
So
saying
here
that.
goes envy.
They said he was Diddy's boy toy.
Yeah, I was in Jamaica with him.
Oh, I see it now.
See?
I was in Jamaica with
Osiris
him.
in Jamaica with his alleged boo Diddy.
What was happening recently was that with the whole cancellation of Diddy, you know, Diddy got canceled.
Because of Cassie?
Just like
she took it back though.
I know, but like it's unclear. So but this was something I've been talking about for years because it's like now a documented thing that I saw him like at a party in Miami. Like I was at a party in Miami that I should not have been at, like some real black excellence shit that I was not deserving to be at, but I went with the DJ.
Yeah.
And I took ecstasy and I ended up wandering around. We're in some mansion on Star Island and I end up walking, I guess it was his mansion. And it's all like just hot. It's all hot black people.
Yeah.
And then just like one moron with an afro. And everyone's like,
right, when you had an afro.
They're like, whose man is this? But I came in and I basically saw him. I walked in a room I shouldn't have walked into and I saw him like hooking up with a dude, basically like full spooning situation. This guy, Felix the House Cat, who's like a producer. Whatever. I then told the story on a podcast and then his people called me and were like, you need to say you were joking. Like say you're a funny guy and like you made it up for the views. And I was like, but I did not. I saw it. And he saw me when I came in.
Were you like a little scared?
Yes, because everyone in the room like stopped because I opened the door and was like, is this the bathroom? And everyone was like, no, this is a room where like celebrities, like male celebrities hook up. It's like some glitterati shit.
We want to thank you. Come here. Don't sit on the bed at night. No homo. No, just don't get close to the bed. Don't get close. But it's just like, yo, we want to thank you for hosting the thing, man. It's been a pleasure. You didn't have to do it, and you did it.
No. I definitely didn't have to do it. I definitely didn't have to. First and foremost, I'm not getting in the bed. You know, shout out to him and what he did. I'm just gonna, if we can, let's just put the camera a little this way, just so we're not. I don't want my shot to even, like, I don't want it to come close to the bed at all. Usher look like he fresh off a goddamn plane. I should.
Fresh off the garden stage. That's my brother right here from day one. We used to wake up and, damn, pause, but like, just out. Back in the days when he was like 10 and I was a little bit older, his older brother, we used to fight over the Frosted Flakes. You know what I'm saying? Before pause was invented. You know what I'm saying? But it's my brother for real. We used to actually wrestle off all for the Frosted Flakes because he used to always get up early with me. Now he's one of the richest stars in the world. And
Yo, what the fuck did Puff just say? Nobody's gonna acknowledge this for me. Puff just said we used to wrestle over the Frosted Flakes, and we're streaming live. That was stupid.
Moved to New York City, and I lived with Sean Puffy Combs for a year.
That's the crazy thing. Now, that was L.A. Reid's idea, right? We're sending you
New
over
York
to something
City.
called Puffy Flavor Camp.
There you go.
To learn
Flavor Camp.
Yeah,
Flavor
that's what it
Camp.
was called. And you're going to go to Puff Daddy's. He's going
In the 90s, do you understand what that's like?
Puffy's place was like just filled with chicks and orgying like nonstop, right?
No, not really.
Did you miss me though? For real, because I'm
I
saying
miss-
it seems like a thing.
I
with
miss
this
partying
birthday
with
party,
Puff, man. I
Man,
miss
but I'm
partying
talking about
with
for your birthday.
Huh?
Why won't you party with me for your birthday, man?
Miami, a night of partying. I don't really remember what I was saying. You know what I'm saying?
Would you like a reminder?
Yeah, sure.
Play some.
Hey, yo, listen, yo, I love it all. I love it all, man.
I like when you like this, Daddy.
Where you put my bag?
Daddy, I like when you
it's right here,
scrambling
it's
and
right
scraping for
here. No,
shit.
no, no, no. That was you.
Scrambling.
What? You said, I like when you do it like that, Daddy. When you scrambling and scraping for shit.
Hey, man.
And he often electronically recorded them. The freak-off sometimes lasted days at a time, involved multiple commercial sex workers, and often involved a variety of narcotics, such as ketamine, ecstasy, and GHB, which Combs distributed to the victims to keep them obedient and compliant.
Diddy has been an addict for 15 years. Asked what he prefers to use, someone said, I'm sure he's on the bleeding edge of whatever it is out there that can get you really up there. I had anonymous conversations with several people who know Diddy really well. People I trust to give me an unbiased view of him. One of them told me, the last time I saw him, there was nothing behind his eyes but a vapid darkness. Diddy's years-long perpetual drug haze meant that some of the women who are suing him, he doesn't even remember them. And people who know him say they don't recognize him. He's been super up there and detached from himself for years. He hasn't acted like himself in years. There were multiple interventions, and they all failed because no one could protect him from himself. Some people have said out of this, oh my God, which super powerful person did Diddy piss off? No. You're missing it entirely. When Diddy and Cassie were together, he dragged her down into drug abuse. After she got away from him, she went to rehab. And in talking to people, she realized she had been through something crazy, and she began to find the courage to speak up. She went to him and said, I have a book. I've written everything. Give me $30 million to make it go away. And because he was in a haze, he did not say yes. He said no. He didn't have the perspective to understand what was really ahead of him. He had been living above the law for so long, he didn't realize what was about to happen. When Cassie sued him, that alerted federal prosecutors and started this whole thing falling apart.
I had sex with Cassie and Sean. Basically, he would masturbate and tell me what to do with Cassie. I had like 15 encounters, and I heard lots of business. Because what they would do is Sean talks a lot on the phone and on the TV with speakers and stuff, and I was like a sex slave. Okay, for them that's what I was. That's all. All right. I caught herpes. They move all the dope. Okay, all the dope on private jets, which don't get screened by customs, by the inside the United States. Okay, they move what's called high grade powder MDMA. They move cocaine and they move liquid cocaine in the bottles too. Okay, so they put the liquid cocaine in the bottles and they move it. I've seen the liquid cocaine, I've drank it myself.
As alleged, when Combs didn't get his way, he was violent, and he subjected victims to physical, emotional, and verbal abuse so that they would participate in the freak-offs, and that Combs hit, kicked, threw objects at, and dragged victims, at times by their hair.
Offering somebody $50,000 to abort a baby, whew, he must really want it gone bad.
I mean, in the beginning, like the first 3.5 years, he was, like the first 3-4 months, he was really nice. But then after that, he started being an asshole. So like I say, like the first 3.5 years, he was like mean to me.
So when you say mean, describe it.
He was abusive. He was like always belittling me and always like, he was like mentally, emotionally, and physically abusing me. It got really crazy that time. We was upstairs and he had like, we were in his closet and he like pushed me and I fell to the ground and then he like stood over me. So I was like laying on my back and he stood over me and he started like punching me like this. Like he avoided my face, but he like started punching me like on the side of my head and I was just like covering my face. And he did that and then after he got done doing that, he like, cause he was standing, his legs were like in between me. So he stomped on my stomach like really hard and I like took the wind out of my breath. I couldn't breathe and he kept hitting me and I was like pleading to him like, can you stop? I can't breathe. And he like stopped for a little bit. He like grabbed my hair from the back and like was like punching the back of my head.
On one occasion in March of 2016, that conduct was captured on video and later reported in the media. Specifically, Combs kicked, dragged, and threw a vase at a victim in a Los Angeles hotel when the victim was attempting to flee. As alleged, these assaults often resulted in injuries to the victims, which took days or weeks to heal.
Disturbing new video appears to support some of the accusations of abuse against music mogul Sean Diddy Combs.
We want to warn you that this video you're about to see is extremely graphic. The surveillance footage that was captured inside of a Los Angeles hotel in 2016 allegedly shows Combs assaulting then-girlfriend Cassie Ventura in a hallway. A now settled lawsuit filed by Ventura claimed that she was trying to leave the hotel after a drunken Combs punched her. The video appears to show Combs chasing her down the hall, throwing her to the ground, and then repeatedly kicking her.
In addition to the violence, the indictment alleges that Combs threatened and coerced victims to get them to participate in the freakoffs. He used the embarrassing and sensitive recordings he made of the freakoffs as collateral against the victims.
Jones lived and traveled with Diddy for 13 months. The complaint states Mr. Jones was sexually harassed and assaulted by Mr. Combs. It also states Mr. Combs required Mr. Jones to solicit sex workers. The complaint goes on to claim Diddy has hidden cameras in every room of his homes and that there are recordings of celebrities, music label executives, politicians, and athletes in compromising positions.
And the indictment alleges that he maintained control over the victims in several ways, including by giving them drugs, by giving and threatening to take away financial support or housing, by promising them career opportunities, by monitoring their whereabouts, and even by dictating their physical appearance.
I wasn't willing to do what was expected of me. Not talent-wise, but in other areas.
And were other girls doing?
I was the only one that was in those types of positions.
Need you to put yourself in that nightclub. Be right there. You're in a crowded club, and it's this one cat. You know what I'm saying?
Is there any way that I could turn this so I could look? Because that helps me. To get the performance.
Oh, man, if you don't sing that damn song, ain't nobody turning. Sing the song, girl.
There was a lot of betrayal. There was a lot of lies. There was a lot of, you know, when you're young and impressionable and we understand our beauty as women through the eyes of the people observing us. Well, who's observing us? Men.
We're gonna go with Shannon and Cowie. Okay.
They can stay up all night.
Okay. Cut the music. What in the hell is going on? White girls can dance now and ain't got asses? What in the hell is going on?
I don't know that you heard
White
that.
girls can dance now and ain't got asses.
So we learn our beauty through a man's eye, which is very subjective. That this part of me, it's like he's on camera saying how much he hates it, but he's off camera telling me all the ways that I needed to be groomed properly. I mean, down to my toenails. Ooh. I was like sent out of a studio session one time because my toes weren't polished properly.
Oh.
Yeah.
Like I said, power.
A lot of it came down to like these, and then of course that really upsets, you know, girls around you that we have cameras in front of us until we all go home, and we're not next to each other when we're home.
Right.
So everybody knew each other to the extent of how we addressed each other when the fucking cameras were around, basically.
Right.
There was really no secret time to be any other type of way. We always had cameras on us when we were together. So with that being said, I mean, definitely a lot in the very beginning to like create, by the time there weren't cameras on us every second, everybody had already fallen into who they like and don't like.
Right.
But it was all developed off of whatever energy was being given in rooms. And what was happening in rooms is I was always pulled out and told something or something else. Or Diddy would bring me back into the studio at night and say, oh, I just got Showstopper and you're not on the first out. You're not on the first verse. And I was like, yeah, the guy put someone else on the first verse and has me on the bridge. And he's like, and you think that's acceptable? And I was like, I don't know. He's the producer. I can't tell a producer what to do with his own track.
Right.
And he was like, you're the looker of my band. You think I can start off this music video with this girl?
Because of all of this, the indictment alleges that the victims did not believe they could refuse Combs without risking their security or facing more abuse. The indictment also alleges other acts of violence undertaken by Combs and others, including violence against witnesses to his abuse, kidnapping, and arson. The indictment alleges that on more than one occasion, Combs carried or brandished firearms to intimidate and threaten victims and witnesses. Now, Combs did not do this all on his own. As I mentioned, Combs has been charged with RICO conspiracy. He used his business and employees of that business and other close associates to get his way. Those individuals allegedly included high-ranking supervisors in the business, personal assistants, security staff, and household staff. The indictment alleges that those individuals facilitated the freakoffs. They booked the hotel rooms and stocked them with the supplies, including drugs, baby oil, personal lubricant, extra linens, and lighting. When the hotel rooms got damaged, they helped clean it up. They arranged for victims and commercial sex workers to travel for the freak-offs, and they delivered large quantities of cash to Combs to pay for the commercial sex workers. The indictment also alleges that they helped Combs cover up his crimes.
Lou Associates maintained intense control also over Britney Spears' life and money. And she was behind even the conservatorship of why Britney Spears had that conservatorship, because she ended up becoming the business manager and took over the financial pieces of Britney Spears' whole situationship. So in 2010, the Britney Spears Foundation launched in 2001, and it was closed out with part of the remaining funds being donated to a Christian residential program that Lou and her husband Rob worked with. So between the long hands, Britney Spears, that she was this masterful manager who has been managing all of these high-end stars, but not only that, trying to run this conservatorship with these artists, which to me is demonic work from the enemy. But let me say this, because see, y'all celebrities, y'all ain't no prayer book either. We ain't finna blame it all on Lou. You decided to do what you did too. You signed a contract. So the Kardashians is linked to this lady because, mind you, there was no public connections until 2019 with the Kardashian family. Then all of a sudden, they was named in filings in the KHW beauty fragrance for Kim Kardashian. Also Kylie Cosmetics and Kendall Jenner Inc. This was all linked to TriStar, okay? And it also continues to today. Now, in February 2024, this TriStar lady, I can't think of her name. Y'all know I just said her name. She helped Kim secure a $70.4 million mansion. Not only that, she also helped secure a $48.7 million loan through a trust associated with TriStar, the company that this lady had. Child, this is getting deep. I'm sorry, Kim Boo Boo. So, baby, while y'all looking at pictures of who at the party,
Lou Taylor is one of Diddy's managers, is on the board at Hillsong Church Home. Are they the same church? I thought that he left Hillsong to do Church Home, or did Church Home or Hillsong just rebrand as another cult, Church Home? Apparently they're paying off Diddy victims from that slash fund. Bieber might be funding that for them right now. That's so interesting because according to you guys, Kim Kardashian unfollowed Diddy like literally 24 hours before this raid, okay? Also broke up with Odell Beckham Jr. Like hours, the day of this raid. But we know Lou Taylor's connection to Kim Kardashian. I mean, it's long been rumored that Kim Kardashian or the Kardashians benefited from the $600 million missing from Britney. What if that money's going to that fund? But Lou Taylor, like, owns or co-owns or has stake in the church that Kris Jenner uses to shield her income and all of her daughter's income from taxes because she requires they tithe 10% of their income to her fake fucking literally strip mall church.
They also executed a warrant for Combs' electronic devices. During those searches, agents seized evidence of the crimes charged in this indictment. They seized firearms and ammunition, including 3 defaced AR-15s and a large capacity drum magazine. They also seized evidence of the freakoffs, electronic devices that contain images and videos of the freakoffs with multiple victims. And they seized cases and cases of the kinds of personal lubricant and baby oil that Combs' staff allegedly used to stock hotel rooms for the freakoffs, more than 1,000 bottles altogether. Here are some of the items that we recovered during the searches. As you can see here, this is a drum magazine, large capacity, and it contains, I believe, 59 rounds. I mentioned as well, we recovered 3 AR-15s. This is a close-up shot of one of the AR-15s, and you can see right here, the serial number has been thoroughly defaced. Another picture of more ammunition and parts of 2 AR-15s right there. Now, I want to be clear about 2 things. First, this office is determined to investigate and prosecute anyone who engages in sex trafficking, no matter how powerful or wealthy or famous you may be. No one should doubt our commitment on that. A year ago, Sean Combs stood in Times Square and was handed a key to New York City. Today, he's been indicted and will face justice in the Southern District of New York. Second, we are not done. This investigation is ongoing, and I encourage anyone with information about this case to come forward and to do it quickly. Anyone with information can call 1-877-4HSI-TIP. I want to express my deep appreciation for the victims and witnesses who have used their voices and helped bring this criminal conduct to light. We would not be here without them. I also want to thank the dedicated case agents on the HSI Trafficking in Person Squad in New York. They have been with us since day one and have worked tirelessly on this investigation. They will continue to be invaluable partners to us. I also want to thank the incredible agents and analysts from SCNY who have also provided tremendous assistance on this case. I'm deeply grateful for their continued work. And finally, I want to thank the outstanding career prosecutors from SCNY who are handling this case. Meredith Foster, Emily Johnson, Chrissy Slavic, Madison Smeisler, and Mitzi Steiner, and their supervisors, Jamie Backleeper and Jacqueline Kelly. They are members of the Civil Rights Unit in our criminal division. We created the Civil Rights Unit when I became U.S. Attorney. I'm deeply proud of their work on this and so many other cases. I'll now take some questions.
Eric Katursky, ABC.
Thanks, Nick. Damian, thanks. The indictment describes aggressive, open, violent, hedonistic abuse that you say was recurrent and widely known. Why did it take law enforcement so long to intervene? How many women were victimized by Sean Combs, and how many others were involved?
Look, our investigation is ongoing. We are committed to bringing justice to everyone who's been victimized by the defendant. I can't tell you why it took so long. I think the better focus is on the fact that we are here today. And we are committed to making sure that justice is done. Next question.
Thank you. Julia Ainsley, NBC.
Thank you for doing this. You said we are not done and that Combs did not do this alone. Do you foresee that there could be other charges related to this case?
I'm not taking anything off the table.
Janet Fisher, Newsday.
What's the difference between the sex trafficking and promoting travel for the purpose of prostitution?
Well, there are different crimes with different elements. I don't think we should get into the nitty-gritty of the legal discussion right now, but the sex trafficking, we believe, they're all serious offenses, but the sex trafficking conduct carries some significant penalties, and we are gratified that we were able to bring that charge.
Is one more coercive than the other?
I'm not going to be able to get into that, but you can look it up, and yes, sex trafficking, especially when it involves coercion or force, is a very serious crime, and it carries significant penalties.
Good afternoon, Darla Miles, ABC7 New York. Thank you for this press conference and for the details. 2 questions. In context of this indictment and the information that was presented to the grand jury, are you able to clarify the number of victims? It's mentioned plural in the indictment, but can you specify the number of victims just for this particular indictment? And secondly, can you provide details about the alleged arson?
Unfortunately, I'm not able to provide either. The number of victims, you are correct. We are intentional in saying multiple. The details of the arson incident are limited to what we have in the indictment and also the detention letter that we filed, which contains more details than the indictment does at various points. But we don't have anything more beyond that. Next question.
Lynn Tran, CNN.
Are any of his accomplices or associates under investigation? And additionally, could he face any more charges?
So the investigation is ongoing. That means both as to him and to anyone else who we believe committed the crime with him. Next question.
Juliet Papa.
Hi, good morning from 1010 Wins. Any indication that some of the women or victims here were imprisoned in his residences, and did he have locations where he kept them, and they were not allowed to leave? And also, he's indicted here, although there were searches and raids in LA, Miami. Why in New York?
Well, I'm biased. I'm the U.S. Attorney in the Southern District of New York. I think that we have an outstanding track record of bringing some of the most impactful, sprawling, complex, difficult sex trafficking, human trafficking, labor trafficking, you name it. The Southern District of New York can do it, and so we're very proud of that. And so the scope and complexity of this investigation isn't something that we ran from, it's something that we embrace, and we will continue to do that. As to your question about whether he imprisoned anyone, all I can say is that, I mentioned this March 2016 incident where something was caught on video where a victim was attempting to flee, and there was violence that was associated with it.
Was that at the residence or a hotel?
That was at a hotel.
Matthew Lee, Inner City Press.
Thanks a lot. Does your office intend to seek remand, or are you reaching a bail package? And if you're willing, how would you contrast this with the R. Kelly case in EDNY in terms of the elements? Thanks.
So we will be seeking detention. We have filed a letter laying out our reasoning for seeking pretrial detention. I'm not going to be able to expand beyond what's in the letter, but it contains all of the reasoning, and it contains the law as well. There is a presumption of detention in a case like this, and we think that's warranted.
John Anise, New York Daily News.
Thank you. I was hoping to get some more detail about the searches of his residence, the guns, the cases of lubricant, and the videos. Where were they found amongst his residents? Were they all scattered around the houses in one place? I kind of wanted to just get a better picture of how that stuff was found.
Well, look, I think that some of the details that you're seeking are in the detention letter. So, for instance, some of the AR-15s, 2 of the 3 defaced AR-15s were found in his bedroom closet in Miami, broken down into parts along with magazines with ammunition loaded in them. So some of that detail is in the detention letter. Beyond that, I'm not going to be able to get into where other items were stored.
Ben Kochman, Post.
Hey, thanks for doing this. Your office was the office that had been prosecuting Jeffrey Epstein before he died in custody. I have not read your detention memo yet. It's the first thing I'm going to do after this ends. But does the memo address, or is your office concerned with Combs's safety in custody, given what happened with Epstein?
So we are concerned with anyone's safety whenever they are detained prior to trial. It's part of our obligations to keep people safe as well. It's part of the criminal justice system. So, but I do not draw any sort of connection between Jeffrey Epstein's suicide and what may or may not happen to any other defendant while they are detained pre-trial. And of course, the decision whether to detain the defendant will be up to a judge. Our position is that pretrial detention is warranted under the law and based on the facts of this case. And I'll leave it at that.
What's up, man? How you doing?
Killer, I'm doing good, man. Reparations is getting closer and closer. I'll be sure to give you your percentage.
I ain't had nothing to do with that money. That's all yours, man. I was on the next boat. Yeah, man.
Man.
Closer and closer,
Closer
man.
and closer.
Okay.
The big payback.
This has been the last year's really kind of been the big payback for you, man.
Yeah, man.
Biggie ain't here, so Big can't give you no receipts. He dead. Craig Mack can't give you receipts. He dead.
I got with somebody, you know what I'm saying? I'm not going to say their name. I'm going to say somebody that wanted to do another album with me. So I said, cool. I gave him my price, and the price was, to me, was low. You know, and they were supposed to give me the money. And I go in the studio and I start banging out. So he came and was like, yo, I cut you a third of the money I'm supposed to give you. I said, you know what? And if you're going to do this and that, a third, let's do it. You give me the money as we, you know what I'm saying? I'll take a third. Again, nothing happened.
What was the issue between Craig Mack and Puffy?
Craig Mack manager, right? Puff told Craig Mack if he didn't change management, he wasn't fucking with him no more. You understand? And they had a real big beef behind that. And Craig wasn't getting rid of his management. I guess the dude had been with him for a long time. So Craig said, yo, listen here, man, I'm not changing my manager just because you want to. Because Craig wanted his money for his music. So Puff said, yo, I ain't fucking with that kid no more. Not at all. I was right there when he said that. Told Craig Mack, you don't change your management, I ain't fucking with you.
What are you talking about? Who else? Black Rob can't give you receipts. He dead.
How you feel about the situation with G-Dub? They saying that he got clemency by the governor, you know, so they saying that he gonna be up for parole in 2025.
Well, G-Dep didn't know he had commit a murder. G-Dep just thought he just had shot somebody. He was getting his life together. So he, you know, I think he had turned to God or religion. So he turned himself in regarding that incident, only to find out that that dude was murdered in the situation that he had with him. You understand? But Governor Holcomb gave him clemency because the fact that he turned himself in, the fact that while he was in jail, he was a model citizen, got his associate's degree, and did all the things that he was supposed to do so he could come back into society and try to be somebody. When he was with Bad Boy, you got to realize he came in with Black Rob. He was supposed to be Black Rob's artist. But Black Rob didn't have no paperwork on him. It was only, you my man, I'm going to bring you up here to Bad Boy. We're going to do this music together. You know, you're going to be my artist. And Puff seen that. And what'd he do? Snatched him away from Black Rob, put him on paper, you understand, and gave him a deal.
And everybody else you made sign paperwork so they can't talk about what I'm talking about. I'm the only one with the guts. You're not signing because I ain't need the money. All money ain't good money. Remember that.
We're going to get to it. What did Puff do to piss you the fuck off? How did he do you dirty if he did you dirty? And what is doing dirty if a motherfucker put you on?
That's really good. Let me take my shades off of that. Now, I could say this because it's not something I didn't say to him. Puff, how do I want to say this? Me and Puff was like
I felt like I did more than I got credit for, more than I got paid for.
You felt, or did you do that?
Because
you said felt, like
okay,
feeling.
let's clear that up then.
You saying you feeling that?
No,
but
we're
did
gonna
you-
keep it with because I'm trying to be nice. I never got paid what I was worth, and I never got the respect I was worth. So the disdain that I got for Puff is more like, you trying to keep me here, nigga. I'm not here. All my peers is up here. All my peers are bosses. When it's time, just like somebody raised somebody up, you know they did work with you, they go from your little man to maybe A&R to something else. He just kept trying to keep me right here, like he didn't want me to grow at anything.
Yeah.
Okay, you kind of last week you went Destiny.
Yeah.
You done Destiny. You know what happened yesterday, right?
Yeah, man. That's what I'm trying to say. It's going crazy.
What happened?
I'm gonna let you start. What did you see that happen?
Oh, yesterday was the anniversary of Biggie Small's album, 27 years later. That's what I seen yesterday. That's what I was talking about.
Yeah, that was real. It's amazing that all of this would transpire on that day.
What's crazy is yesterday was Biggie Small's 27th anniversary of Life After Death. And it was also the Diplomat Immunity album, 21st anniversary. Shit going on. Shit's going on around.
Reparation.
Yeah, man. I was just saying, that day, yesterday was kind of...
That's eerie, man.
Yell, they shot at Biggie's car, and then I just jumped out of my car and I ran directly to his car. He was hunched over, and I was just there. I was talking to him, and the security officer that was driving my vehicle, I told him to just jump in his vehicle. Let's just try to rush him to the hospital, and that's what we did.
Do you remember the last thing that you said to him or he said to you?
Yeah, I mean, he was just basically saying, like, he couldn't wait for his album to come out, that, he was just happy that he had finished it, and he was just like, I just can't wait till my album comes out. And he just felt that when the album came out, it was going to clear up a lot of stuff, because over the past 2 years, people have been talking about him in records. There had been the so-called controversy, and he had wanted to represent on his album of not even going in and feeding in towards that negativity. And he felt proud that he didn't do that. And he also did a tribute record to California called Going Back to Cali, and he had just felt that, once the album came out, a lot of fans would understand that, that he wasn't on that BS, and he was just trying to make good music and represent for everybody as a whole, internationally, East, West, Europe, Africa, wherever they was from, that wanted to listen to his music and wanted to feel his point of view. He just wanted to accept them, and he wanted them to accept him.
We've heard a lot of different theories on what happened. One of the theories the police are working on now is a money conflict with someone out in Los Angeles. What's your theory?
I know that's completely not true. Biggie didn't have no money conflicts with anybody. And as far as my theory, it would be inadequate for me to speculate. I would just be like everybody else to speculate on who did this or why it was done. I mean, one thing I do know is that it was evil, it was ignorant, and it hurts, you know what I'm saying?
When I was a 18-year-old kid, just wanting to do nothing other than make my mother proud and make Belize proud and do what all of us want to do, be recognized for our talent and take over the world. I was defending him, and he turned around and called witnesses to testify against me, and he contributed. He pretty much sent me to prison.
Hey, how you doing? So, here today about this latest lawsuit with the P. Diddy, Puff Daddy, Puffy, Sean Puffy Combs, whatever you want to call him, lawsuit that has come out involving the producer Lil Rod. So basically his last two lawsuits, or last two major lawsuits, the one with Cassie, she made mention that Puffy made her carry his guns into nightclubs and wherever they went. And he threatened her to make her feel like she had to do so. And while there were lots of things of importance, that stood out to me. And I'm going to tell you why. In this lawsuit with the producer Little Rod, they were both SA'd by him and threatened and physically harmed. But in this lawsuit, he appears to be a very young producer to me. But he said something very specific. As a means of threatening him, Puffy said, that's why I shot up the club in New York back in 1999 and let Shine take the fall for it.
Also wanted to hear a readback of testimony relating to Combs' former girlfriend, actress-singer Jennifer Lopez, who was in the Navigator when it was stopped by police. An officer testified that everyone in the SUV was ordered to put their hands on the vehicle, but Lopez walked away, saying she was going home.
And I do want to talk about all the great things that you're doing, but to your point, to get to the great, the bad has to be acknowledged.
Absolutely. I think...
And I'm with the former bad boy, as they cut the record label. So let's go. We're not far from where that night took place. And you've never told the details about it. You have never gone into great... people want to know what happened that night. I know that you've always said self-defense. When you drive by that area now, how does that feel to know what happened in there?
Well, I take the train and I walk, so I don't drive. But I actually haven't walked in that area.
Was that deliberate? Have you wanted to avoid?
No, I just haven't had the, I haven't had the desire. That, it's so long ago. And it's, to me, more of a blip on my journey to where I was going, which is always a world leader.
That's so interesting that you feel it's a blip, because it was and is the thing that defined you for so long.
I am the woman who he shot in the face in that 1999, December 27th, 1999, Club New York shooting. I have told everyone ad nauseum since then, even the surgeon who did the surgery, to take the bullet. I got shot in my face with a 9mm hollow point bullet called a cop killer. I literally have told everyone and never changed what I said. I watched him. I got pow-powed in the face. I watched him fire the gun. I've said it all this time. Even the surgeon who did my surgery to take out part of the bullet fragments that was aspirating into my lungs and try to remove as many bullet fragments as possible testified in the criminal trial that while they were putting me under, I was screaming, Puffy, pew pew me in the face. He testified in the criminal trial. It is in the record. They all knew he did it. Everybody knew he did it. But he paid off the club bouncer named Sharice and all these other people and the club owners with their video to hide the video. That's his MO. I told everybody that. This man almost took my life, has traumatized my life, has caused undue harm, irreparable damage to my life, lied his behind off. I've had all these youngins on the internet harassing me, swearing that I'm making it up that he did it. And look what he did to Little Rod.
Get her, get her, get her.
He threatened him. Oh, you don't think I bust my gun? I shot up the club in Club New York and let Shine take the fall for it. I shot them people. Well. It only took 24 whole years for it to come out. You see this tattoo? This commemorates me getting shot. It took 24 years for him to come out and say it. I've been saying it all along, but y'all pick and choose who y'all want to believe. Oh, baby, you ain't seen nothing yet. Not only did he pew me in the face, he also set off a course of harassment against me for the past 24 years. When I tell you the things I went through, there was a time in 2017 and 2018 where I got 7 flats on my BMW. 7, the same tire, in a 2-year span. 7 on the same tire, and they were all new. Every time it happened, I had to get a new tire. I have the pictures to prove it. Harassing me. You want to know why? Because prior to Cassie, I was the only person to be victimized by him and then to successfully sue him and get paid. And he had to pay me out of his pocket. He has never gotten over that. Oh, baby. You see this RICO charge that's about to come? This conspiring and pew-pewing up the club and ruining or attempting to ruin my life? As God as my witness, I will not stop until you suffer every single iota of punishment, until I have every second of recompense that you took from me. For every tear that I had to cry or my children had to cry, I am going to get $1 million back from you. I will not stop until you pay the price for what you did to my life. And for all you people out there on the internet and in cyberspace and in the far reaches of my life or the perimeters or wherever who always like, oh, she just saying that to get some. Hell, what you got to say now? What you got to say now? I had some youngins on the internet that ain't even old enough, that weren't even alive when it happened, arguing me down, cussing me out, calling me everything but a child of God. Go check Instagram. It's there. Harassing my life. Harassing me. Oh, you lying. He ain't do that to you. You just want clout. You just chasing clout. What is that to chase clout about? How is that clout chase worthy? It doesn't even make sense. Well, I guess it will make sense in this new generation. But you better believe I will have my say. I will have my say. Hashtag having my say. Hashtag the dopest nerd ever. Hashtag Eb Talks. Y'all ain't seen or heard nothing yet. I've had my say.
This is someone who destroyed my life and who I forgave and who I moved on, and for the better interest of Belize, because he was in a position at that time to give scholarships and to maybe invest, I would not deny attempting to bring the investment to Belize and to bring the contributions to education to Belize. But don't distort it as if, you know, he and I were bombale. This is someone that destroyed my life. But do I take any joy or any satisfaction with what he is going through? Absolutely not. I am different than maybe other people. No one needs to fail for me to succeed. No one needs to suffer for me.
In your at the height of your professional relationship, or thereafter through the reconciliation, when he was an instrumental part of promoting you through Revolt Media, were you aware of these freakoff events, and were you aware of them? Did you have any participation in them?
Oh my goodness, Jules Vasquez. Jules Vasquez.
Were you aware of them?
Jules Vasquez.
Were you aware of the freakoffs?
So I had nothing to do with Sean Combs' personal life, no interaction. That level, everything was strictly on a professional level.
I want to talk about you Diddy Bot bitches who have my stomach oh so sick. First of all, you guys are talking about if you had all this money, you guys would be doing the same things that he's doing. Huh? Y'all would be raping, allegedly?
Videos that are surfacing of Justin Bieber
at a Diddy party, and they are horrific. I'm talking truly and utterly horrific. Justin is at Diddy's parties, and in this one video, it looks like whatever Justin is doing, and I'm not going to show it out of just respect for the fact that I truly believe that Justin Bieber is a victim. But whatever he is doing in this video with Trey Songz and Odell Beckham Jr. looks highly suspicious. I can show you a still from that video because I think the relevant part is Justin Bieber is not sober.
Welcome to the family, John.
So who was with you this weekend? A bunch of my friends. Diddy, Quincy, Justin Bieber. So far, French so good. Montana. I didn't go to bed. I got on a plane at 5:30 a.m. for this party. I think half the people there were butt naked.
Clearly very heavily under the influence at this party. And so what I want to say to Justin Bieber and to everybody that's following the situation is that Justin Bieber is a victim. I was horrified when I saw this, not because of the idea that Justin Bieber would be engaged in these sorts of things at these parties, but because I understood that this was a kid who was intentionally targeted by Diddy, as the videos show, told that he wants to party with him. Justin Bieber didn't do that to himself. Like I said, Justin Bieber was, in my view, a child victim. And as these videos are circulating on the internet, I want to make sure people remember that and give him the grace as someone who has somehow survived this, turned to family, turned to faith, and is still very much struggling with all of this. For people to give him the grace and the courage and the prayers to hopefully one day find within himself the strength to speak out about what happened.
It was hard for me being that young and being in the industry and not knowing where to turn, and everyone, telling me they love me and, just turn their back on you in a second. So if she ever needs me, I'm going to be here for her. But yeah, just protecting those moments because people take for granted encounters, and I just want to protect her, I don't want her to go through anything I went through. I don't wish that upon anybody. Yeah, if she ever needs me, I'm just a call away.
Do you realize how important your story is? Every time I have a conversation with someone who's been through this unique type of experience, I'm searching for some kind of truth that can help.
I commend you for going there and asking the tough questions and the things that people don't want to talk about and they don't want to go there.
What's up, man? You good?
I'm good. How are you?
All right, young brother, everything's good? Selling out arenas and everything? Starting to act different, huh? You ain't been calling me and hanging out the way we used to hang out.
Well, I mean, you try to get in contact with me, through all my, partners and whatnot. But you never really got my number, so.
Right. Okay.
My number?
Yeah.
I'm gonna tell you my number.
Yeah.
Yeah, so as soon as you turn 16, you know what I'm saying? I'm gonna let you rock this every time you come to LA. Yeah, this gonna be yours. So every time you come to LA, it's a little dusty, but put the front shot in.
Man.
Minute.
Woo. Okay.
Okay.
All right, so I'm gonna be driving this next year.
Yeah, when you get 16, you come down there, you gotta, wear your seatbelt.
I mean, I'm 15. You could ride in the passenger seat. I got my permit. Not yet.
No.
All right, 16.
You're not ready.
16.
Let's slow down, Jess.
Okay.
Let's slow down, okay?
One step at a time.
But yeah, the keys is yours when when you get 16. And we gonna go full crazy.
I'm going crazy.
Crazy.
I'm taking this out tonight.
What you wanna do? What you wanna do over the next 48 hours?
48 hours. Let's go. Let's just go get some girls. Let's go hang with some girls.
Man after my heart. That's what I'm talking about. Yeah.
Moved to New York City, and I lived with Sean Puffy Combs for a year.
That's the crazy thing. Now, that was L.A. Reid's idea, right? We're sending you over to something called Puffy Flavor Camp.
There you go.
To learn
Flavor Camp?
Yeah,
Flavor
that's
Camp.
what it was called. And you're going to go to Puff Daddy's. He's going
In the 90s. Do you understand what that's like?
Puffy's place was like just filled with chicks and orgying like nonstop, right?
No, not really.
I mean, and you said that, I know you can't go into detail, but you said that it was a situation where Diddy sent him to the hospital?
Let Usher explain that to you. Let Usher mama explain that to you. And the hospital was in Scarsdale, New York.
I mean, but hey, it was curious. I got a chance to see some things.
Yeah, but you were 13. What were you seeing?
I went there to see the lifestyle.
Right.
And I saw it. And it was but I don't know if I could indulge and understand what I was even looking at. It was pretty wild.
So nobody tried to, some woman didn't come along.
I didn't say that.
Okay.
I didn't say that. What I did say is that there were very curious things taking place.
Uh-huh.
And I didn't necessarily understand it.
Uh-huh.
Biggie Smalls was there.
Biggie Smalls was there. Lil' Kim, Craig Mack.
All these people are hanging around.
Yeah, man. Faith Evans.
And your parents
Jodeci,
were
Mary J.
okay?
Blige, they didn't know nothing about this shit.
Oh.
I was having a good time, you know what I mean?
Does he have you doing any chores? Are you doing dishes at all? I mean, to keep you humble somewhat? Or are you just like, can you stay up till 4 a.m. with them and party?
I mean, I could. I actually stayed up longer than them.
And do you have money? What's going on?
I mean, I had like per diem.
Yeah.
I had like,
What
like
a
living.
life.
Yeah, it's pretty crazy.
14 years old. You're a dad now. Would you ever send your kid to Puffy camp?
Hell no.
I just don't understand why you guys are also victim shaming in this bitch, talking about why didn't people come out earlier. Hello? All these dead bodies for years. And then you're talking about, for example, look, there has been confirmed stories of him blowing up cars and trying to throw people off balconies.
One of the other allegations in the Cassie Ventura lawsuit concerned Kid Cudi. This is from Michael Velli from YouTube. Will the feds investigate the rumors that Kid Cudi's car was blown up by Diddy because he dated Cassie Ventura? For facts purposes, Kid Cudi's car was blown up.
Absolutely, I think they'll investigate it. I think they're taking everything that's been filed, they're combing through it, and they're going to turn over every leaf or every rock, every car, so to speak, and anything that they can use against him, they're going to investigate it and try to use it against him. So definitely.
Let's stay with you.
Can I also say it just goes to his access? If you can blow someone's car up, it just goes to the reach that you have, and it just substantiates someone's fear of him, especially, we were talking about witness protection earlier. He has reach. He can send someone to blow up a car if he so desires over a love issue, spurned love interest or something of that sort.
I'm just saying, y'all bitches are not thinking. And if you're a sick, nasty bitch, get off my page, because this ain't the page for sick, nasty bitches. I don't like sick, nasty bitches. And it ain't about skin color. Y'all keep saying, oh, R. Kelly, oh, Michael Jackson. Hold on. Michael Jackson is different. Those people have come out and said they lied, or they have been caught, or something of the sort. Now, R. Kelly, Bill Cosby, what's going on? It don't matter about block, bitch. You're making it a block thing. If you're a sick bitch, you're a sick bitch. All these sick bitches can go. Pink, green, yellow, all of them. All these bitches are sick and y'all can go. I don't know what y'all got going on at home, the sick, nasty bitches that are on my channel watching and supporting Diddy. Talking about take this video down. Y'all must be doing the same thing at home or want to do the same thing. And if so, y'all need to go to jail too. And when y'all go to jail, I hope they provide mental help so y'all don't get out and do the same nasty, sick things to people.
Diddy's been running wild for at least 15 years, but he might not be able to slip out of this one. And he's only the first domino to fall.
If he gets racketeering and sex trafficking for freakoffs, it will be others involved.
Yes.
Like if you ever ran a train with Diddy, you're probably going to jail.
Yeah, that's what a lot of people were saying, that, that's possibly on those cameras because he had cameras in the crib. So people are thinking that maybe there'll be other people involved.
If you ever been butt naked anywhere with Diddy, or half butt naked with Diddy, and there was some women around or some men around that he told you were part of the party, you're probably going to jail.
It's 2020, y'all. Yeah. And it's different than when it was 2016. know, the game has been elevated. As we can tell, there's no expense being spared. We had a black billionaire's lunch.
But all this is bigger than Diddy. It's bigger than Diddy, bro. Because you know who else they was doing investigation on during that whole time period? It was the mayor and the politicians in New York City. They turn around and give him the key to the city. All the mayor people that he brought on here in New York City are all resigning. They all resigning. People ain't gonna tie this together, but if you look at it, you have to say, because of Mayor Adams and his relationship with Diddy, it brought on the Southern District of New York to start investigating Diddy on civil lawsuits that was put against him. Because the feds is going after all these politicians in New York City.
Yeah, the feds revealed that, anybody that, participated in any, criminal behavior at his freak-offs, they're going to pursue.
Listen here. The mayor here take like 15 spoons of sugar in his coffee. So it's all a possibility.
Do you think there's any celebrities on them tapes?
Bro, he gave celebrity parties. So what you think?
Because my main account is banned where all of my Diddy blind items from this month are, I'm just going to do all the March 2024 Diddy blind items so we can see the lead up to this. Starting off March 1st, and this is Little Rod, Rodney Jones, Sean Diddy Combs, and this is the male victim that came forward. It's pretty easy to tell that whoever wrote the recent lawsuit against the wannabe rapper/producer reads this website on a pretty regular basis. They even use some of the same clues in their blind items. And I said before, and I'm saying again, no, that's because the blind item has been recording crimes that have been reported to them instead of the police for the past fucking 20 years. And they just corroborate the actual little crimes that, 3 homes got raided for today because of. Okay, this next one's also from March 1st. They call Diddy Mr. Freakoff. Mr. Freakoff isn't the only one who asked for straight men to be delivered to his hotel room when he is in London. Just ask the Unlocked blogger, and that's Jason Lee, and the weather boxer, Floyd Mayweather. This British rapper, and that's Giggs, and the socialite with the star in his name target dealers who want the extra cash, who are sure to be discreet because they have girlfriends. This is why the powerful rapper, and that's 50, is always mocking them and why they're too afraid to say anything back. He's seen the videos. Okay. This is TD Jakes and Mr. Freakoff. Those closest to the televangelist warned him about being associated with Mr. Freakoff, but he did not listen. Some of the men who claim to have stories about his private life have given him the name General High Booty. So Mr. Freakoff is Diddy, General High Booty is TD Jakes. I'm sure you can do the math on how that got there, that nickname. Sorry guys, I'm flustered right now. Fucking this is huge. Young Miami, the girlfriend of the wannabe rapper who was also named in a very recent lawsuit, has started selling off all of her possessions online. This is from March 4th. It sounds like the wannabe rapper cut her off financially. So Diddy cuts his girlfriend Young Miami off on March 4th. You are like almost exactly 20 days later. That's him. Like I said, he was offloading all of his assets into offshore bank accounts, and with his mommy and with his kids, he didn't have any more cash in his bank accounts for Young Miami to get. They were all in the Caymans with the rest of the white collar criminals. Okay, and this is a 2013 blind item that was brought back again on March 4th about Beyonce, Jay-Z, Diddy, Kelly Rowland. In 2013, the Queen Bee and her husband attended a New Year's Eve party in Miami, which was being thrown by Mr. Freakoff. No one who was there has ever forgotten that night because she spent the entire night in the pool dazzling into space. Her best friend who recently starred in the Netflix movie called for help, but she was ignored. It's like she was in a trance. By the way, so this is Beyonce and Jay-Z party into 2014 at Diddy's New Year's Eve bash. So you can Google that, Diddy's 2013, New Year's Eve bash, obviously bringing in 2014. And you can see in the articles how they had included, had linked Beyonce's Instagram account and all all of her posts from this 2013 party were removed when I initially reported on this blind item from my main account at the beginning of March. I just find that interesting. Do you guys see how like all of these chips were kind of falling? This is why I'm also so pissed my main's not here anymore, because I had captured this all in real time. And I remember being like, oh, that's weird. All of Beyonce's posts from Diddy's party are fucking gone, and any evidence of her being there are fucking gone. This one aged so well, you guys. So this is about Little Rod, the male victim that filed a lawsuit against Diddy. Publicly, there are more, but they just haven't publicly done anything. And then TD Jakes, General High Beauty. The lawsuit filed by the producer claims Mr. Booty Grabber planned to use the televangelist, so now Diddy is Mr. Booty Grabber in this, use the televangelist to clean up his image after the first lawsuit with the singer. Why was he so sure the televangelist would risk his own reputation to save his? Look no further than the secret recordings and what he knows about his daughter's adoption. Except, listen, TD Jake, save yourself because you got nothing to clean up. It's been raided. Everything. And finally, Simon Cowell, Sean Diddy Combs, Ryan Seacrest, The Wanted, glad he came. And this is on, by the way, Simon Cowell is rumored to be a notorious harem holder. Kind of like Diddy. The music competition judge/record exec, and that Simon Cowell is worried that he is next to face the Mr. Freakoff treatment. Okay, so let's raid Simon Cowell's harem next. Not only because of the things he may have done, but because of what he didn't do to protect contestants from the closeted radio exec, and that's Ryan Seacrest, who preyed on them. This same radio exec was behind the formation of the boy band The Wanted, who was glad you came, and that's a really gross pun right there in the blind item. Those are all the March 2024 blind items on Diddy. Probably more to come.
Immediately after Diddy was charged, we started seeing record executives resign and retire. We're not saying it's all connected, but the timing's interesting. Stacey Richmond's a music industry attorney. Do you think it's a coincidence that some of these record label executives started retiring?
I don't know that it's a coincidence. I think that the evidence will reveal people who have concerns. So we don't really have those answers yet. Clearly, it may be an indication of concern, or maybe just time to move on to greener pastures.
He already has the keys to some pretty exclusive places, and now Sean Diddy Combs can add New York City to that list. It's Diddy Day in the city. Videos have been playing on the Jumbotron for TSX Broadway, and the crowd waited. Then around 11:30, the doors opened for the mayor and the artist.
The bad boy of entertainment is getting the key to the city from the bad boy of politics.
I want to thank y'all for this honor and just recognizing me being from New York, giving me the key to the city. Diddy finally has the key to the city.
According to sources familiar with the matter, let's go straight to senior investigative correspondent Aaron Kontersky on the phone with the very latest. Aaron, what can you tell us?
Byron, we just heard a statement from Mayor Adams saying, "I always knew that if I stood my ground for New Yorkers, that I would be a target, and a target I became. If I am charged, I am innocent, and I will fight this with every ounce of my strength and spirit." A statement of defiance a moment ago from Mayor Adams to ABC News after word came that he has been indicted by a federal grand jury in New York. Byron, this follows a 10-month investigation into corruption. It began with an investigation into the mayor's fundraising from his 2021 campaign and whether his campaign took illegal foreign money, particularly from Turkey, in exchange for official favors by Eric Adams. And the investigation has more recently ballooned into a broader corruption inquiry involving some of his top deputy mayors and others in his inner circle.
Aaron, we all recall that months ago, I think, authorities seized his phone and members of his administration. Is this part of that investigation?
It is, and it was a highly provocative step back in November when federal agents stopped a vehicle outside an event where the mayor had been speaking. They asked his driver to step aside. Federal agents got in the car with him and at that point seized his electronic devices that were on his person. The mayor subsequently turned over other electronic devices. And in more recent weeks, the feds have raided the homes of two deputy mayors. They've seized the phone of the police commissioner, the school's chancellor, both of whom have resigned. It's not immediately clear whether anyone else has also been indicted along with the mayor, but a number of people in his top echelon of the administration had become subjects of the investigation.
Give us some context about this. These are federal charges against the sitting mayor of the largest city in the United States, New York City. How significant is this, and how deep will this go, do you think?
New York has a long and storied political history, some of it rife with corruption, Byron, but never before has a sitting mayor ever been charged with federal crimes. Mayors have been charged after they've left office, like Rudy Giuliani most recently, because of his entanglements with former President Trump. But a sitting mayor of New York has never been charged with a crime until now. Adams has stacked his administration with a number of loyalists, with people who he is known from his days as a police captain, a number of high-profile individuals, including his chief counsel, had advised him that perhaps he wanted to jettison some of those people, but he has always remained steadfast and loyal. He has said he has done nothing wrong, and he has known of no wrongdoing in the ranks of his administration. Federal prosecutors, Byron, clearly tonight disagree.
I mean, certainly we'll hear, along with the mayor, what these charges are tomorrow. But talk about Mayor Eric Adams. He was someone in the Democratic Party seen a few years ago just as a rising star, as you said, a longtime police officer in New York City. He walked the streets. He was a beat cop, rose to captain. And so many saw his ascension to mayor's office as this fast-moving star in the Democratic Party. That all now seems at best in jeopardy, if not over.
Okay, look at it like this. I look at real plain and simple. Ain't no whistleblower. Facts is there. But right now, I don't care if it's T.I., I don't care if it's Rick Ross, I don't care if it's Jay, I don't care if it's Snoop, I don't care if it's Game, I don't care if it's Dre. Nobody's stepping up on the fact that you know what's going on.
Nobody's defending him.
You
You're
had
right.
guys at Interscope.
You're right.
Okay.
Nobody is defending him, but that's why I was interested in hearing your perspective.
Okay. Okay, but you had a guy named Tubby. He used to work for Interscope. This guy's job was to bring underage girls and have sex with employees and other artists, to the point where his friend got caught up with the same thing. How they raided Puffy House for sex trafficking, they raided his friend house for sex trafficking.
You have 60 seconds remaining.
He never was an artist.
Sure, can you say something? Can you say something
you really
positive?
Look at the whole situation.
Because you only got.
Everything I'm saying is positive. And I got to hand him a call right back.
All right, Suge, you call back. Do you think that Diddy?
He can do so.
Do you think Diddy knows enough that it's a very delicate balance, that maybe investigators will want to know these other names and greatly reduce his exposure to criminality, to time, versus what people would do to keep him quiet?
Number one, I've been knowing him a long time, and we was friends. We're not enemies, but we were friends. He's not a dummy, so he's smart enough to work his magic. On top of that, this man right here, he's been involved with the FBI and most of his career. Shit, he got powerful people. One of his partners who started his company with drug money, President Obama, got him out of prison. So it's not like he don't have no moves. So I don't think nobody should just count him out. I don't think he gonna lay down and just crawl in the corner and die. He probably going through a lot of shit right now because he probably going through a lot of withdrawal.
Bitch, shut up. Yeah. Bitch, shut up. Bitch, shut up.
Because if Diddy wanted to get away, he could have got away. Diddy, for some reason, he's either incredibly arrogant and doesn't think that he can be taken down, or he believes that he's innocent, or he believes that there are people that would go down if he went down, and they wouldn't want that to happen. People in
All
positions
of that
of
could
power.
be true, or he could just be too far gone. He could be too far gone off the drugs.
Oh, you think he's
and the
really...
alcohol and the power and the ego that he's just delusional as fuck.
That power does corrupt.
Oh
man.
my God!
You seen it happen, huh?
Yes, a million times. Like man, this actually when I read the indictment, I'm reading it. I'm just like, this is just a dude that's power. He's super power trippy, super ego trippy, and it's the drugs and it's the alcohol. Right? If you ask me. I think this man, this is a podcast, and this is what we do on a podcast.
This is allegedly.
Yes. I think this man has so much grief and trauma that he's just always trying to escape. That's why it's always so much drugs, so much alcohol, and sex. He probably just does that shit just to run from whatever trauma he's never dealt with. I think it's the sex, the drugs, it just helps him to escape, and he's always constantly trying to escape. Because that's the other thing people are not talking about in this indictment. All the drugs they found, ketamine, coke, ecstasy. They said the night that the night he turned himself in, they picked him up or whatever, he had fucking pink powder in the room. Clearly the guy got a problem.
Drink. In the kitchen, he was the only one back there. He came out with the drinks in his hand, and I took the drink from him.
Okay. Now, this happened in 2001 in South Carolina, yes?
Yes.
Okay. Was this a house party? Was this a party at a club, on a boat? What?
It was a beach party. But by the time we got there, he picked me up from my house. He picked up Malika and I from the house. On our way there, we made a few stops. We stopped at, I believe it was his parents' house, because I met his dad, and there was a couple of other family members in there. We stayed there for a little while, left. Then we went to the gas station. By the time we got to the beach, it was dark. So it was really no pool party, because the way he described it, bring your bathing suits, is going to be like this outdoor pool party, fun in the sun type of thing. By the time we got there, it was dark, and it was just a whole bunch of people inside the house.
So now, after this sexual act took place, that you claim took place, how did you then get home?
The ambulance was called. Someone called 911. There was someone who was downstairs, outside, actually. After everyone had left, Malika and I were able to pull ourselves together and help each other down the stairs, and we went outside and sat on the curb, and it was just pitch dark. We didn't see anybody. Somebody pulled up. I don't know if these guys were at the party earlier or where they had came from, but someone pulled up and got out the car and asked us if we were okay.
Right.
And I believe it was that person who called 911.
Suppose Charlemagne reaches out to you after we do this interview, and he says, hey, I want to give you a settlement, and I want you to recant your story and to call Star a liar. Then what?
Listen, I don't want that man's money. I don't want nothing from him. I just want people to know who he really is. He's a liar. I have been dealing with this for over 15 years.
A lot of these celebrities, every single celebrity in the culture has been to Diddy's house, which means they've gone through all his phones, text messages. I can read you my text message to Diddy. What day is it airing on the show, on the network? Are you coming on the show? Diddy, what's this? It's all been business for me. It's been business for me. I don't have nothing inappropriate to them people because I don't deal with them like that. So you mean to tell me all those late nights, what you doing, where you at? I've seen Jay-Z at his house. I've seen TD Jakes at his house. I've seen Chris Brown at his house. I've seen Jordan Woods at his house. I've seen Travis Scott at his house. I've seen Beyonce at his house. I've seen Tiana Taylor. I've seen them all. Now, we was all in the backyard, but I've seen them all. I've seen Usher there. I've seen DaBaby there. I've seen Justin Bieber there. I've seen... Everybody's been to a Diddy party. I've seen Lindsay Lohan, Ashton Kutcher, Demi Moore, Tyrese, Amber Rose. I've seen them all have been there. Mary J. Blige. I've seen them all. But just because you go to a Diddy party doesn't mean that you were getting sprayed down with Vaseline and baby oil. Because I can tell you right now, ain't nobody ever sprayed me with nothing. And I don't even play around like that. Let me tell you about me. I am so private with my personal intimacy that I love the fact that my business is private. Anything I've ever made public, I've talked about it on my show. I've been pretty much an open book with the activities, but I try to conceal the names because I don't want people bothering them. I learned as people started getting to know me, they would go track down anybody I'm involved with and then harass them. The people I deal with are private people. They don't want their business in the streets, and we ain't spraying each other down with baby oil. Mystery Man, what's up? What's up?
What's up, man? What's up? What's up?
Oh, no, you're not gonna come up here now. Let me see that face. I need to get into that face. Let me get into that face real quick, J Money. Stop playing. Let me turn up my lights so I got better lighting.
Let me wipe my face.
Yeah, wipe your face. I just went and got me some eye cream. I went and got me some moisturizer. So let me see your face.
Oh my goodness! All right, hold on.
It's the suspense for me. Wait, hold on. Let me move this Gagiana. Oh, you cute as fuck, J Money. Where you at?
Chill out. I am in North Carolina right now.
J Money.
Huh?
Come visit me in Atlanta. I'm gonna fly you out here tomorrow.
All right.
I'm serious.
I hear you.
You think I'm playing, J Money? You think I'm fucking playing? I am not playing. I will fly you out here tonight. You come to me with we going to super party tonight. I'll fly you out here tonight.
Ooh, I hear you talking.
J Money. There's a fucking flight that leaves at 7:15 and gets in at 8:37 tonight.
Damn, am I gonna be able to finish what the fuck I need to finish? I'm gonna have to go shopping, need some of all this.
7:15 gets in at 8:47. We going to the party at midnight.
Okay, so I can make that.
Huh?
I can make that.
Are you sure you can make it?
Hold on, let me double check. I'm gonna hop up on the scanner real quick. Let me call them.
Right back. You come right back.
All right.
No, he trying to turn you out.
I know. I've chilled with him in real life and everything. Like, I know how he is. He's Jason
Wait,
Lee.
you know him in real life, you said?
Yeah, he's Jason Lee, right? It said he's. Hold on, say it. He's what? The pause after he went crazy. Yeah, went crazy. That's why people be thinking all this shit because the way I like deliver everything, I'm like he's you know. Let them think what they want to think. But you said right. He is Jason Lee.
My thoughts on Diddy is sad, period. It's just sad. And crazy. And it's shocking. You know? That shit don't want me outside at all. So, yeah, I mean, I'm sure. But I know I've been over here. And I never judge a man for any preference and all that, and they keep it to themselves. I ain't got nothing to do with none of that. So, none of that, and, you know. I don't know anything about any of those things. From 2005 on, I wasn't around. You know, and that was the reason why I wasn't around. So what's good is I don't know anything. I just know I wasn't there. And whatever happened it's a mystery to me, like it was a mystery to everybody else. But, you know, I know that my instincts told me to get the fuck out of certain environments. I'm not gonna say necessarily that one, but, you know, things that were along those lines. You know what I mean?
Bitch, shut up.
I was saying that this is like the end of hip hop as we know it.
How?
You know, so I'm just asking your opinion on that. Do you agree with that statement? Do you feel like, you know, some people being shown in a different light, is that ruining the way we are going to see hip hop going forward, or like the culture?
I don't think that it has anything to do with hip hop. What are we talking about here, really? Like,
Well,
as far as
I mean, I don't want to like just go straight to it, but you know, like everything with Diddy, people are saying it's kind of the end of
has
hip
nothing
hop
to
at
do
that
with
era.
hip-hop.
Okay.
Has nothing to do with hip hop at all. So I don't see the correlation whatsoever. If we're talking about creative and music and stuff like that, there's people still listening to R. Kelly shit. You know what I'm talking about? So, I mean, I don't know. I can't answer that, but I don't think it has anything to do with hip hop.
So what kind of hat is that? It looks great.
It's a crochet hat. It's actually my son's. He told me make sure I bring it back. Don't fuck it up.
Oh my gosh. No way.
They have the crochet do-rags as well. I don't know
Do
if they
they?
have it for the
I don't
males.
wear do-rags anymore.
Wait, so is it your son's line? It's like, wait, so do-rags snatch your edges?
Yeah, they snatch your edges from what I heard.
I ain't never heard that. Wait, so is this from your experience?
I'm just playing.
I was
But
like,
you know what? That line you get in the middle of your head and all that shit.
Yeah.
I'm just too grown for do-rags. I got too much hair for a do-rag.
Bitch, shut up.
Good day, all. You guys want to know the reason why all of these people are coming forward now, telling their stories, and they didn't do it in the past? Well, being a model for over 12 years and being in this industry, I was physically attacked by a very large rapper in the 90s who's actually now an actor right now today. This man attacked me. I defended myself. 10 squad cars were called to the hotel because we tore that bitch up. 10 squad cars were called. There wasn't one police report written about the incident. I had 5 officers come up to my room, take a statement. Not one police report was written. I worked for attorneys at that time in New York. And because my attorneys represented the head of the record label he was on, they told me to pick my battles.
I need y'all to help me. We all heard about Puffy, and I see a lot of people, yay. I'm confused. The Cassie thing, I understand. I think you should definitely lock this nigga up. Put hands on the young lady. But I don't understand the other shit. Can y'all help me? When has being nasty been a federal crime? And I'm glad they told me. I didn't know there was a limit on baby oil. I'm getting a few, because we get ashy. But you get a massage or something or whatever. I don't know. I don't know. Please tell us the new rules for niggas. Because maybe they're not new rules, actually, because I think it was 1800s. There was this very famous boxer named Jack Johnson, and he was whooping ass. Everybody ass, but mostly white folks ass. He was whooping a lot of white folks ass. And he had a white woman, Mae West. They couldn't stop this black man. So they gave him trafficking. In the 1800s. Taking a white woman across the lines was... If he didn't do that, he wouldn't have stopped boxing. I thought I told you that we won't. Make it make sense. We need to know the new rules. You can't take anybody on vacation. You can't take anybody to Vegas. Damn sure don't bring them to Atlanta. I need y'all to help me because I don't know the new rules. Please tell me what was illegal.
Bitch, shut up.
This is what airport surveillance cameras caught. Faison Love grabbing the valet, throwing him to the ground, throwing him into the desk, and then back to the ground. As Faison left the jail, he was asked what he would say to the valet.
Watch your mouth.
Bitch, shut up.
Oh, there we go. Oh, it may be, yeah. Not playing. Big Draco, big love. Yeah. All 2021. Yeah. That's what's up. We just out here enjoying life. Yeah, love. 2021. Yeah, we just gonna take y'all around the room for a second.
Nia's your daughter. Yes. When you hear some of the stories, Nia claimed that Soulja Boy kicked her in the stomach while she was pregnant, put a gun to her head, that type of thing. As a father, how does that affect you?
Well, let me say this. Soulja Boy knows who I am. And he knows I'm deep. He knows I'm very deep. We had an altercation. I was called a lot of names, and I got an apology. I'm looking for an apology for what he's done to my daughter. I'm looking for that. As a man, I'm looking for that. And I think she deserves it. You know? Not even me. Because here's someone who really stuck behind him, did the show for him, because she thought this was going to happen and it was going to be them I watched them live together, and I didn't know all of that was going on. So I think if he were to be a man, a true man, which you rarely find a lot of them out there, who are able to really become a man and have a heart to say something as that equals to our apology, to make it right. If you don't, you weep with your soul.
For the last time, can y'all take me off the list of names that y'all think is on these tapes? Why are y'all so hell-bent on putting niggas on these tapes? I'm not on these tapes, man. I'm not there. There's nothing there. My dad called me. They got him. They got you, buddy. It's over. It's over. Like I don't really have the deepest of dives on.
No, true. Does it put you in a position because you
It puts me in absolutely no. I want to be clear.
No, listen.
All right, go ahead.
Does it put you in a position because you had a friendship with this guy, right? Does it make
stop?
You...
I'm gonna let Justin. Y'all gotta stop doing that up here too.
But it came off
that,
like that.
That part we're gonna stop doing. I'm gonna start correcting it. Okay. No, I didn't.
Oh, okay.
I feel like it was more like a business relationship.
I'm very clear in where I stand and where people stand with me professionally. I'm clear on how this business works. It ain't a surprise to me. I'm clear with why people invite me around, want me around, call the phone, text me. I've been on the other side of that. Okay. I know where my value lie. I know what I can do for other people, brands, and companies. I know how I'm seen. We not friends with nobody. My friends are my friends. Those of you out there, you know who you are. We text. You niggas is bugging. I ain't gonna hold you.
Word.
And I ain't the feds. Ain't nobody subpoenaed me. I ain't coming in to talk. This also has not been the nature of my relationship with him. Like, I ain't never seen him do none of this shit. I want to repeat that because I think that's whack too, when niggas in hot water and now you just rolling with the hot water even though you ain't never seen it. I've never seen none of that. But I read enough to see... about to be a hard few up. About to be a hard few. For me, that's another piece off the chessboard. You niggas take yourselves off the chessboard.
So, and we had you on the show previously, and we talked about your whole situation with Esther Baxter and the breakup, and you know what happened, and she cheated on you, and we heard the song and Ordinary-ish, you know,
part three.
But now she's come forward and done an interview, and she's released some pictures. One of them did make people sick because there was like a fetus in the toilet.
No, it made me sick too.
All right, is that a real picture? Is that really
that's. Wait, is it really what?
Is that really like her
fetus?
Fetus miscarried in the toilet.
That's what she sent it to me as.
Okay.
Now she's saying that you beat her, you strangled her, and you sat on her stomach and caused her to lose her baby.
We actually have that
for
audio.
a half hour.
Hold on, we have the audio.
We got into an argument, and just basically ended up choking me. So I couldn't breathe, slamming me up against the door, like in the closet doors. He threw me on the floor, grabbed me by my wrist and sitting on my stomach for half an hour while I was 3 months pregnant. Went to the hospital where I found out that I lost my daughter.
And I go in the other room, and she's in the bed, and I say, wake it up. Wake it up. What are we going to do? And she was just like, what do you mean I'm asleep? Just like real arrogant. I'm like, what are we gonna do? This ain't gonna continue like this.
Right.
What are we gonna do? So I dragged her out the bed. I definitely did. After a couple more lines of that arrogant talk.
By her feet, hair, arms?
No. My feet. A little light drag. None.
Came home, we wanted to have a conversation with Esther Baxter.
You drag out the bed. A nice king size on a beautiful plush carpet.
Okay.
Like, please.
Okay.
So we went back and forth with the beefing for about maybe all of 4 to 5 minutes. And then I caught myself. It's like, all right, you bugging. And I went in the master bedroom, and I sat by the balcony, and I just smoked a cigarette.
Nope, you dragged her off the bed, Joe, and you sat on her stomach and held her down so she could hear you. Come on.
No. And I smoked a cigarette, and I'm sitting there, and I'm just chilling. So, and now this bedroom, there's 2 entrances. So I thought that I locked both of them.
Right.
Clearly, I didn't. So one was locked, one wasn't. So she comes around the long way.
Right.
Because the house is huge. So she comes around the long way, and she's screaming and yelling at the top of her lungs. So in my head, I'm like, oh, okay, so I spazzed. So I guess it's her turn to spaz now. So she comes in, she's screaming and yelling at the top of her lungs. I'm like, dog, we just did this. It's over.
You're still smoking around a pregnant woman. Okay, keep going.
He left the
No,
room.
I was alone.
She came in his vicinity. Objection.
Yeah. Oh, okay.
Objection, Your Honor.
Okay.
Go ahead.
So, but I'm by a balcony. Anyway, so she comes in. I'm like, fam, we did this already. We don't have to do this.
Right.
She's still screaming. She's screaming. I'm ignoring her. I'm still smoking. On her way out towards the door that's locked, my computer's on the bed.
Uh-oh. That's never good.
So she picks it up.
Oh, man.
And she slams it into the closet.
Wow.
So now I'm flabbergasted.
Not Joe Button's computer.
You know what's on that computer.
She know that's my computer.
Right.
She know what that is to me.
She knows push the button. She know how to push the button.
I'm still kind of in shock.
Right.
So then she threw it in the closet, and as she's walking out, because she got to go through the closet to get out.
Right.
She picks it up again.
And does it again.
And she does it again.
Damn.
I jumped up like Thor.
Right.
Or Iron Man or somebody.
Right. Objection, Your Honor. Watch your mouth.
And I ran so fast into that closet, because the closet is like the size of a room.
Right.
And I ran in there, and I hemmed up, and I said, yo, are you out of your mind?
How'd you get all the bruises?
Makeup, I don't know.
Come on, Joe.
I'm telling you.
So the police will call you arrested that day.
Listen, slow down, because it gets crazier than that. So we're in the closet, and I got her pinned against the wall.
Right.
Like, and I asked her if she's crazy about 3 to 4 times, but she's kicking and she's punching and she's swinging. So as I got her hemmed, I got to try to like back up off her, but she's still going, and her stamina is unbelievable, and mine's isn't.
Right.
So I put her on the ground. I don't throw her on the ground.
A pregnant woman.
But I'm much stronger than her.
All the more reason you're digging a deeper hole for yourself.
No, he
Joe.
placed her on the ground.
Listen, I'm just
He's saying that she's going crazy.
At no point am I saying that I haven't done anything wrong.
Okay.
And at no point am I saying that.
Why do you think we haven't heard from anyone until now?
You know, I just feel like a lot of people are in shock. A lot of people are dealing with it in their own way. But in times like these, I mean, we should come together. We should talk about it as a community. It's easy to divide and point fingers, but unity is where you build. You can have a stronger future for the culture. I mean, Diddy's been an icon for decades. We've all listened to his music. We've all been around him, that at least in my era, and have looked up to him. And in this situation, it's super unfortunate, but it's important to learn a lesson right now, and ensure the next generation understands how to move differently with transparency and integrity. And I think transparency and integrity moving forward should be non-negotiable.
I hear you. And look, we need that in every culture. You hear and may know what I hear, which is people aren't coming out because they either suspected this about him or they don't want to have any connection to him. And then I guess there's another group who's worried they're going to get pulled in, which is one of the suggestions from prosecutors. When you were with him, you had to have heard the kinds of things that other people heard about what Diddy could be about on the dark side and excesses of his. What did you make of what you heard, and what did you ever see for yourself that gave you an opinion about what he was about?
Well, for myself, and I think a lot of other people in this industry, I mean, it's all a shock because, you know, we've never seen the stuff that's being said and the stuff that people are finding out. Like, I've never been in rooms that people are talking about, and I never knew they existed. And a lot of people in the industry can agree with me on that sense. Like, you all wanted to go and have a good time at a Diddy party, you know, and you wanted to be inspired. You wanted to go out and have a good time. And then you wanted to go the next day to work, and you wanted to work hard in this good vibe, you know. And so to see where we are now, I just think everybody is still trying to digest it and still trying to understand it. And even though, you know, there's still allegations and it's not anything that's
just allegation
factual yet, but it's hurtful and it's confusing to a lot of people. I mean, we all grew up, you know, listening to Puff and Bad Boy, and they represented success and resilience, but it comes with responsibility. And when people fall, right now we just need to use it as a moment to reflect, not to criticize, but find a better way to move forward as leaders, individuals, in this culture that we're in right now.
Bitch, shut up.
Was reportedly arrested after getting into an altercation at a Beverly Hills hotel Friday night. And People magazine says police were called to the Beverly Wilshire Hotel and the singer was asked to leave but became aggressive and ignored that request. The man, known for making a sex tape with Kim Kardashian and dating Whitney Houston, was taken into custody and then allegedly kicked and shattered a police car window, spitting on an officer as well. And the 33-year-old, he was booked for trespassing, vandalism, battery on an officer, and resisting arrest. He reportedly bonded out of jail Friday night after posting a $20,000 bail.
I think as this progresses, I pray that people will find freedom and get more clarity. I think everybody is in a holding pattern in the sense of, and I'll say that just to the extent of, there are way more victims. There is a lot more crazy shit. People think because some of the bodyguards came forward and said some wild stuff that like that's where it wraps. And that's not how the government works.
Oh, you don't got to tell me.
Yeah, that's not how it works being a victim. And you have to understand, like for the government, it's about building a case or having a case that is you know, foolproof. And then for a victim wants justice as well. A victim, probably even more than wanting justice, wants to be seen.
Ew. Like JK, but like maybe not. But thank you for watching. But you hating ass bitches always have something to say. Hating ass bitch, but you're still watching my vids. What? You're so upset. But that's like okay, because have a piece of bread, have a Xanax, relax, because I said what I said.